because I just woke up, so give me a break. But let's take a look at IO error. Where are they? Damn, I'm really off my shit today. Can't even read. Toxic Angels. Okay, so Toxic Angels actually currently in the WLDL are not looking the hottest. They are 1-3-3. So they won 1 series, tied 3 series, and lost 3 series. Take a quick check on what they're up against. Up to. So they lost to Shut Up Hex 2-0, lost to CIA 2-0, tied against Not Fast Just Furious, beat Toxic Colony 2-0, lost to 4 Elites plus Squid, and tied with both Sync Cats as well as Takes 3 to Tango. Okay, so into the game. Let me see whether there's anything else I can get out of. Okay, so big in terms of heroes that they like to pick, big Jakiro pickers, big Invoker players, big Wind Ranger players, Treant Protector, Spirit Breaker as well. So not really. I mean, obviously I don't know this team, so hope I'm not doing them too big of a disservice. But I'm sure the respect bands will become apparent very quickly. As for IR Era, I think I've only seen 1 game of theirs. They are currently tied 1 series and lost 3 series. They've tied against Not Fast Just Furious, but have lost 2-0 to Sync Cats, Takes 3 to Tango, and 4 Elites plus Squid. So if we're going solely by the score, both these teams should be pretty evenly matched. As for their most played heroes, they seem to favor Sand King a lot. Unfortunately, their Sand King win rate isn't looking the best, but I mean, it's hard to say what hero they might be strong on because of the win rates, right? They're completely skewed just because of the record so far. So straight off the bat, already Wind Ranger ban coming from IO Era, and that's to be expected. A hero that they like a lot. Zeus, I've learned that Zeus might just be a general ban more than a targeted ban, because I don't know any good Zeus. Zeus is just Zeus, right? Like, I mean, obviously, a lot of magic damage might allude to the pick of an illusion carry of some sort, or a weak edgy carry. It's gonna be a Weaver first pick from IO Era, something that we've been seeing a lot in the WLDL. In fact, the game that I casted yesterday saw Bananas. Bananas from what team was that? PZ, Pinko Zuki. Yeah, just completely decimated with it. Sniping couriers, just an absolute menace. Ogre Magi is the response, and Grimstroke as well. So, funnily enough, there are very few heroes that can stand up to a Weaver in lane. Ogre Magi is without a doubt one of them. Stable support, easy execution as well, and secures your early lane. Grimstroke obviously could indicate that they are trying to play a very fast run at you lineup, but once again, here is the IO Era Sand King that we are talking about. Oops, sorry, a bit of echo, like 5 minutes from now, but yeah. So IO Era, I believe the last time that I watched this was Neutral Creep Hotel. Oh, was it DZ Bug? Okay, no, it should be DZ Bug. It should be DZ Bug with Sand King. This is probably a very comfort hero, and it's not entirely unexpected. Weaver Sand King, not necessarily the most conventional lane though, because there isn't really a follow-up for the Sand King. With Sand King, you either want 1 or 2 things. You want a hero that can kind of drag the position 5 away from you, so you can feel free to Sandstorm and sit there. Or you want somebody who can double up with you for kill lane, so you can emphasize on the Burrow Strike, or capitalize on the Burrow Strike, right? So Weaver kind of does the former, where he will just run around, cause chaos, ideally. The one thing, I mean, this kind of makes sense now with the Zeus ban, right? Because 2 Invis heroes, one bolt, and it's curtains for them. Follow-up bans with Spectre. Spectre, interesting Spectre ban, but I kind of understand it just because the Spectre doesn't care about both supports. Never does actually, and a Gyro as well. And as for the side of IO Era, they've opted for an Ursa as well as a Faceless Void ban. So both heroes that can really lane the hurt into Sand King earlier on. As for the Sven, not entirely clear, but Sven along with Ogre just not only is it a solid lane against the Sand King, it can also ramp up in a huge way, especially in the Bloodlust. So maybe they're just protecting out their Sand King or just banning out some carries that they know Toxic Angels likes to play.
5 seconds team pick.
Bro, what's up, Bench? Hey, you want to join me or what? Thank you.
Only 10 seconds.
Yeah, if Bench joins this cast, I'm so pleased, but I doubt it's gonna happen. But it's fine. Alright, sorry for a bit of typing. Talking about my bad G. Might actually join us for the cast, which is pretty hype. Ooh, it's a Tusk pick. Which means one of these heroes is a call. It most likely is a Tusk, but okay, a Lich in response. So I like this Lich pick because I feel like Tusk and Ogre Magi, they both have to go in, right? And it's a physical damage overload in a way. And Lich kind of can space that out with his abilities. And Tinker as well. This is a very early Tinker pick, but quite justified because 3 picks on the side of TA and you have 0 catch whatsoever. Grimstroke, Ogre Magi, Tusk, they are never reaching you on this Tinker. Especially once you get your Blink, right? Because Tusk used to maybe have the advantage of Frozen Sigil. Rest in peace. Frozen Sigil. But yeah, so it used to have the advantage of a Frozen Sigil to spot out whatever vision he wanted to. Now it's just really the Ice Shard, so you kind of have to try and get lucky with the vision. They have no jump whatsoever, and they just ban out the Spirit Breaker and Spectre themselves. So this is looking like a very cute Tinker game if they can get off to a good start. Of course, the concern is in the early game if they get rolled over in the lanes, right? Okay, ooh. God damn, what is going on with this draft? This is some shit right here. What in the fuck is going on actually? So it's a Skywrath Mage, Tusk, Grimstroke, Ogre Magi. As if you needed more to like kind of pile into the Grimstroke. It's a Skywrath Mage. So Skywrath Mage definitely a hero that can outlane the Tinker in the mid lane and can really put in the hurt, right? One thing I'm scared about is once he gets jumped, it's basically over for him. But I guess they are taking the initiative themselves, right? They want to roll over the lanes. They want to have this early timing where they just run all over the map with the Grimstroke, with the Ogre Magi, and with the Skywrath, led by the Tusk, of course. Anybody who they spots just instantly dies, right? Because the barrage of spells that can come out. It's gonna take a while for Tinker to get online. He's gonna need to farm up lanes, and Toxic Angels, they're looking to kind of starve them out from the start. Funnily enough, the flag from Toxic Angels is looks pretty over to me, and I don't know if I can necessarily say that at the present moment, but this draft is looking really scary, that's for sure.
Radiance ban.
Ban out the next assassin, so pretty common ban against all these heroes, can really clunk up the combo of Skywrath Mage and Ogre Magi Grimstroke, both heroes that have very telegraphed abilities as well, right? So can really stuff out whatever combo, whatever run at you that they're trying to have. Although I guess that would assume that the Weaver is a position 1 right now. I don't know if you want to play Weaver position 1 versus this team because you don't actually have time to get time lapse off. You really, really don't. One silence, one punch, one Phantom's Embrace, one stun from Ogre, it's like you're just gonna pop. Your head's just gonna fly off before you even know it. They end up banning AM and Medusa, which AM, very good pick against obviously Tinker, Sand King. Doesn't really care about the Lich as well, and Medusa can just be this fortress that TA need. One thing that they're definitely lacking right now is the hard carry, right? You're looking for somebody who can be the game ender. Sure, you have all these heroes that can get the kills, but you don't have anyone that can kill the Ancient right now. And so PL. So a very greedy draft coming out from IO Era in my opinion, but if they can tie the aggression until like 20-minute mark and they're not too far behind, that's where it'll start to get scary. This more than ensures the fact that this Weaver is going to be a position 4 alongside this Sand King, and the PL will be 1 with the Lich and Tinker in position 5 and position 2 respectively. So we're gonna have to see what the last pick here is for Toxic Angels, as they have quite a bit of reserve time to work through still. I just feel like their last pick needs to do so much. I'm trying to think of like a carry that can fulfill all those roles and still deal with PL, right? Generally, the one thing I look towards maybe is a Wraith King, but Wraith King can just get kited, like he doesn't really... You need somebody who can jump the backline as well. It's gonna be a Juggernaut pick, so very solid lane against Sand King and Weaver. Can combo out with the Grimstroke. I don't know how Omni Slash works with the Soulbind though, we'll have to see. But that's the decision for them here. Jug is gonna be the one to carry them to victory from the 20-minute mark. After that, it's gonna be a bit dicey, but we'll see whether they can make the early game work. If I had to favor a draft, I would probably say I like IO Era a little bit more, just because of the fact that I feel like they have more stable lanes, and as long as their PL doesn't just completely get blown out of the water early on, they should be in a good spot. But then again, I'm not a Skyref Mage Doctor. I'm not a Skyref Mage. I personally am a Skyref Mage enjoyer. So I'll be looking to see what Joker can do, presumably from the mid lane. I'll be surprised if it's like something funkier, like maybe a Grimstroke mid, because I really feel like Skyref Mage, he's gonna pack the punch that they need for the early game. I'll turn down the music. Not really sure what the sound is like, but we'll see. So we are getting into game number 1 very shortly, but of course this is going to be Toxic Angels versus the side of IO Era. This is of course game 1, so if you're just here, you didn't miss any of the action. Thank you for joining us today. And we have DZ Bug on his signature Sand King. I'm not looking too hot in terms of win-loss in the league so far, but hopefully you can turn this around this series. Of course, we have Grandmaster Lich, okay, but as we get off to the start of the game, we already have a very quick smoke out. Let me just sort out my camera settings. There we go. Okay, so introducing the side of the Toxic Angels. It is Elegance on this position 1 Juggernaut, Ronin Swanson presumably on the position 4 or position 5, I'm not too sure yet. Position 4 looks like it is. Reckless on this Pos 3 Tusk, not something we see very often. Speaking of things we don't see often, we also have Joker over here on this mid Skyref Mage, a hero. You don't really see this. You see this in pubs. You don't really see this in Constructed, but I guess official play. But Waffle Eat Pancake. Last but not least, of course, on this ogre, they're setting up a trap here. Shanti, have you just walked into it? Not like this, my friend. The ink swell out, the tag team, and the ignite as well. Shanti, this lone lich wandering straight into 5 heroes. That's not how you want to start your game off. But on the bright side, it's just a kill on the pos 5, so it's not that big of a deal. And I mean, the rest of the side of IO Era, they still can get their games out. They should know where the side of Toxic Angels are at least. And speaking of the side of IO Era, of course, we have DZ Bug, the captain, on his signature Sand King, Neutral Creep Hotel on the pos 4 Weaver, trying to Shikushi in to fight for this rune. This could be inadvisable that committed the Barrel Strike already, and Elegance still has to spin. They're trying to work down Reckless now. They do. They're gonna get him, but DZ Bug is gonna end up falling to Elegance. Or rather, Waffle Eats Pancakes Ignite, but... So 2-1 on the board, some early kills coming out back and forth. They do manage to secure the rune, if I'm not wrong. No, it's actually... yeah, so DZ Bug does manage to get the rune, but it's not looking too hot for the Sand King. Of course, let me just round out the introductions right here. In the mid lane for the side of IO Era, we have Emmy Dies Alone on the Tinker, and of course in the top side we have Shanti on the Lich, level 25 to 30 or something like that. I don't know what the exact level is, but banned from acquiring relics on this PL. So these early lanes are going to be action-packed to the core because there's kill lanes on all sides. Of course, Jug and oh my god, early morning speech pattern, sorry about that, but Jug and Ogre definitely can blame the hurt of this Sand King. I'm going to have to see what Neutral Creep Hotel can do to sort of alleviate that pressure, especially since DZ Bug started with that Barrel Strike, right? There's only so much you can do. Waffle eats pancake. Just doing the typical Ogre thing, walking forward, no cares at all. Mid lane is gonna be where it's interesting though, because most of the time with Tinker, it's either he forces you out of lane, or it goes even, right? But I feel like Skyref is one of these rare heroes that can actually fight back against a Tinker, because you're not inhibited by the blind so much. You still can pump out a lot of damage with your Arcane Bolts and your Concussive Shot. And yeah, as we see here, still trading relatively evenly. Joker coming up ahead in the early lanes, in the early last hitting. As on the top side though, as is tradition in every typical Grimstroke lane, you're gonna see a huge surge in aggression in around like the 3 to 4 minute mark, or rather level 3, level 4 mark, and that's where Reckless is gonna get the tank team as well. Is there a Doppel? There isn't one to work with at the moment, and this could cause ban from acquiring relics to tank a lot of damage, but actually Shanti fires right back. It's the Ronin Swanson who falls first, and now another man go up, and the Frost Blast. You try to cover my carry, my friend? Get out of my house, Shanti says. Hits back straight onto the Tusk, leaving them reeling for resources. Has to spare himself a salve as well. But maybe a bit of over-aggression from Ronin Swanson here, walking a bit too far forward. As much as Grimstroke can enable that aggression, it's not really a lich that you want to be trading up against, that's for sure. I mean, big winner of this laning stage so far has to be Elegance, right? They picked this Jug into what they knew was going to be this off-lane combination, and DZ Bug without the Sandstorm. Not that you can really Sandstorm it. I mean, Sandstorm not the worst in this lane as well, because you're against 2 melees, right? But the second they dust and they spin onto you, you don't do nearly enough damage in Sandstorm to warrant them being scared. They can definitely take you down before that fact. But Shanti has to be really careful here if he gets blocked off by the shots that could enable a little go alongside with the tag team. Oh, but actually we missed a kill mid, a solo kill actually. Emmy proving me completely wrong, just out harassing this Skyref mage. And landing the heat-seeking missile harass as well. And now, solo kill in the top lane. Meanwhile, bot lane though, DZ Bug manages to get the Barrel Strike in. He's under a sentry though, and is gonna get struck down by Elegance. I think overall still favors this Jug. The Ogre, he doesn't really care about dying here. It's not that big of a deal for him. But yeah, the Jug off to a hot start. And Neutral Creep Hotel does manage to get the sentry denied though, so that's really nice for DZ Bug coming back into the lane. But yeah, big story is this mid lane, right? It's all about this Skyref. He needs to get something like this Athos or his first item. Oh, as I missed a kill again onto ban from acquiring relics. I'm just gonna call it PL. It's a little hard to keep track, but yeah, Shang-Ti, not a lot of mana to work with, can't keep his PL alive, and like I said, we're gonna see that surge of aggression. Level 2 tag team is really where it's at, almost doubling the amount of damage, right? 20 damage to 45 damage hit. That's way too much for this measly little PL to bear. Joker starting to lay in the hurt onto Emmy, but should be fine because he can walk towards a water rune. Has to pop in immediately. Is it enough though? Actually falls to the damage. Level 3 Arcane Bolt pumps out just enough, and Emmy perhaps staying a bit too long in the mid. Not a lot of resources to work with. Waffle eats pancake though. Posturing a bit far forward, but it's a ogre match. What can you do? Reckless under a bit of threat with that frost shield, but here comes the turn. Tusk with the snowball and the tag team as well, but manages to dodge it. Nicely done from PL here. But you can't fight up against this Tusk or the corrosion on this man. You need to be careful. Ronin Swanson doesn't have the stroke of fate there, so no long range harass for them. They're still trying to turn it around, but what is this? The ice shots doesn't manage to get the last hit off, and ban from acquiring relics is gonna fall to the auto attacks. Just complete chaos left and right, like 2 kills a minute at this point. 6 to 5 now, 5 minutes in. Very early on already, so much action. It's exactly what we expected from the draft, right? Okay, so as we get to sorry, dealing with some personal matters here, but we actually see a kill on the top side with Shang-Ti, and I mean this is where we expected the Tusk lane to ramp up, right? It's high levels in the high levels in the tag team buffed up by the level 2 Inkswell, and actually opting for the Phantom's Embrace level 2 instead of Stroke of Fate. So pretty interesting there, but maybe the additional silence against the PL is what they're looking for. So yeah, we're just gonna keep seeing kills, and another one in the bot lane, just missing all of these. Neutral Creep Hotel and DZ Bug can't stand against this lane anymore. Elegance with the level 3 spin, it's way too much damage. Trying to do damage out the Neutral Creep Hotel, but he has the Shikuchi. And cutting it a little close there, he's taking out to the Ignite, he actually, he doesn't actually take out in the end. Another fight in top lane. Reckless is the one who's under a bit of trouble now. And once again, just action back and forth, right? It really depends who the Frost Shield is on, because the Frost Shield just negates so much of that tag team damage coming out. 8-6 now, but once again, like I said, real winner of all of this chaos has to be this Jug, right? Because he's the one who's sitting pretty, hasn't died yet, still pressuring it onto DZ Bug, and doesn't actually get the Barrel Strike off in time. Waffle eats Pancake, nails him with the stun. Oh my, dude, this does not stop. Joker gets the kill with the Mystic Flare onto Emmy, and man, dude, literally 10-6. As early on as 7 minutes, this is an action-packed game, alright. Just non-stop kills across the map. I can't even keep track as we see what looks like could be aggression in the top lane again. Just put pedal on the metal and never stop, pump the brakes. In comes the snowball, the Phantom's Embrace as well. Shang-Chi taking a lot, can't get that Frost Shield off in time, and that means you're just a weak little support. No damage mitigation to speak of, and you're gonna melt easily to this combo. And so it looks like Elegance, he's having a good game, he's about to queue up this Battle Fury. As for Neutral Creep Hotel, looking towards the Earn instead. DZ Bug, I don't know whether he's gonna try and rush a Blink, but for now it looks like he's trying to finish up a Vanguard, which I'm not too sure about because they have so much magical damage on the side of Toxic Angels, right? Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but meanwhile though, I'm interested to see what this Tusk gets as his first item, right? Because our Corrosion is pretty straightforward, like feels the aggression, but not really sure where he's gonna go from there. Could be a Drums, could be something like Echo Saber. The Ice Shot slightly off the mark, but it doesn't even matter as he rolls straight in, and the punch is more than enough, knocks that Lich just lights out. And even in the bot side, this Jug cleans up too. It's starting to fall even more into the favor of the side of the Toxic Angels right now. It looked a bit even earlier on with the kills trading back and forth, but the lanes have definitely devolved into Toxic Angels' hands.
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Nice little stack for him to farm there on Elegance, and would you know it, top of the net worth, 1k ahead of anyone else on the team, or anyone else in the server right now. So this man's sitting pretty in terms of his farm. He's going to be on his way to a rather early Battle Fury. But DZ Bug has actually opted to switch lanes here, so coming to the top side, and yeah, Reckless can't actually touch it because, oh, another kill. Joker actually gets Emmy dies alone. It started to look like this Skyref was about to lose his lead because of the early kill from Emmy, right? Very nice solo kill as well. But then it ends up, now Joker, he's the one ahead with those kills like in succession, starting to take down Emmy with that overwhelming amount of damage brought by the Mystic Flare. Now looking towards top side, but nobody has shown here for quite a bit. It's just DZ Bug defending this lane. But oh, 4 people coming to the top side now. They want aggression, they want to hunt down this pesky Sand King. The captain of IO era, alone at his post right now. He doesn't know he's under a sentry, he doesn't know he's being looked at by 4. Here comes the snowball. Are the skills there enough? In time, they are not punched up into the sky, not to come down alive. And the Death Squad, this is what we were talking about as early on in the draft. The Death Squad of the side of the Angels, they're gonna be looking for blood all across the map here. I mean, the rest, once again, we talked about it, right? I feel like they have such a greedy draft, like between the Tinker, between the PL and the Sand King as well. Because the thing about Sand King that makes him so strong is that he can defend a lane by himself. He can be the sole kind of enabler of aggression with those Blink Barrel Strikes, right? But the thing is, he kind of has to choose one or the other, and with the entire side, okay, Dust out, Reckless, he's gonna get Barrel Strike up though. DZ Bug, is he gonna turn it around? The Sandstorm damage is enough. DZ Bug, a huge play for him, but 3 people looking down this Sand King. The Inkswell's gonna pop. He manages to get the kill onto Reckless, which is pretty huge for him. Probably gave him quite a bit as well, but ends up falling in the end. That's what we're saying about Sand King, right? He can only be at one place at one time and so much damage. Shang-Chi just disappears. Joker has to be careful though, hiding behind the trees, can't get clipped by these missiles. Yep. The big thing is gonna be when Tinker hits his Blink Dagger, right? Because that's when he can start to respond to the aggression and maybe look with DZ Bug to try and turn around these aggressive moves as well. But Emmy might have been a bit too far forward and true to her name, dies alone in the mid lane, not respecting the pure damage coming out from Tusk. So much with level 4 tag team, that's bonus 95 damage per hit and Walrus Punch with 350% crit just knocks the lights out. Well, on the bright side, it has quietened down for Ben from acquiring relics on this PL, right? Starting to farm up that Blade of Alacrity, going into the second one, and are gonna try and work his way towards the... Oh, another kill. DZ Bug actually catches a stray Ronin Swanson, wandering a bit too far forward. Very nice kill for him. Yeah, so like I was saying, has opted to abandon the Vanguard plan entirely, perhaps looking for Yules instead. So not entirely... and not a pretty good item choice if you ask me, because a lot of things that he can kind of just disjoint and keep himself alive for that much longer, that can just buy the time, not only for his PL in the game, but for his Tinker, for his Lich to come in, cast their spells, and perhaps turn around the fights, right? We talked about it before, we're gonna say it again, it's all about tiding the early aggression that Toxic Angels are looking to bring. If they can get their PL to a certain level, if they can get their PL a certain amount of farm, that's where he can start to outdo this jump. Because even though you have the Battle Fury, yes, you can cleave, that's not really the best way to deal with illusions, but better acquiring relics, you're a bit too far forward, my friend. You staring down 3 heroes and a quick silence into the arcane bolts along with the concussive shot. It's so easy to melt through these heroes on the side of IO Era. They need to be so careful about where they show, and it's PL down in the down on the sidelines for another 15. And 20-8 now. All sides of the Toxic Angels is firing off, like Elegant 6k net worth now. It's so close to his 300 gold away actually from his Battle Fury. From there he's gonna ramp even more. And he's 3-0-4, right? So yeah, Emmy dies alone, nice little TP out, keeping himself alive against Joker. Actually, Joker opting to go for the Aether Lens first instead of the Aethos, which is something you see more often. Perhaps favoring the ability to engage or cast spells from far instead. Actually, Reckless going a bit too far forward here. This is exactly what we talked about, the pick up from Emmy dies alone, right? Blink Dagger, once you have that, that's when you can start responding in the fights, and what looked like should have been quite an aggressive move from Reckless alongside Ronin Swanson ends up in their demise, a 2 for nothing trade in the top side, or what probably looked like a free kill for them. Yeah, I believe they're trying to go into Shang-Chi, but the quick response at the side of IO Era, they're ready and they know this is basically the only play that they have. The Angels, they just have to keep running and making these kills happen, because if not, the rest of the side of the IO Era lined up, they're just gonna slowly farm out and get way past like what any of these players can do. Once again, 4 people rolling up to the top. Should be spotted out by this creep wave though, if I'm not wrong, and neutral people tell he's gonna ditch the fuck out of there. He doesn't want to be around here. Ben from acquiring relics though, he has to be a bit careful because he's staring down quite a few members. He should have seen that sentry deny, right? Oh, okay. To catch sight of him, Joker has to be careful. Not Joker has to be careful. Joker in the area. Doesn't actually get the doppelganger off, and he's gonna melt. Oh, the defense matrix is not nearly enough. Joker with huge amount of damage there. Can't actually... Yeah, you can't get out of that doppelganger. Ben from acquiring relics, you saw the sentry denied, but doesn't manage to shift out there in time. Meanwhile, on the bot side, they're trying to make a goal to Elegance, but still has the spin, still has the Omni Slash as well. He can actually turn it around and, oh, nice little waiting for the dust to come in, and this could be a double kill. DZ Bug, have you got a bit too far forward? There's a barrel strike, but the chase is on from Elegance. No mana to work with and no HP. Very shortly, the last crit, juking a little bit. Elegance, have you gone a bit too far forward? Now the TP is coming in. They have to be careful here. Here comes Waffle with his pancake. No, the stun, but nicely done from Emmy. Blinks forward and strikes down that jump for his insolence. That is a huge kill for them. 40 seconds on the sidelines and into the hands of Tinker as well. That is going to help Emmy come back in a big way. Okay, so the ping's coming out. They know that Reckless is around. They have that ward spotting him out. Alright, here comes the snowball though, but it's straight into a Tinker. Is this really what you want to do? Shanti has time to get that Frost Shield up, negating a lot of the damage that will come out of DZ Bug with the respawn and the TP in. Punishes Reckless. And they're starting to live up to the names a little bit there. Reckless going a bit too far forward by himself, and this is sort of the issue with mid-game tasks, right? You kind of have a dominant early game, but unless you can keep that snowball rolling, it's kind of hard to match up against like whatever else they have. They can just turn around on you so easily before you can really make that full-on commitment and 100 to 0 somebody. It was an action-packed early game, but now Toxic Angels is starting to find less and less moves around the map as the side of IO Error, they're starting to just band together and fight back. Oh, okay, a kill actually caught out Neutral Creep Hotel walking up into their jungle over here under a sentry. See DZ Bug here, the silence straight away. Doesn't have vision on the high ground though, so doesn't know what he's walking into. Has to be a bit careful here. Waffle eats pancake. They're gonna looks like what is starting out to be a tussle in the bot lane. Reckless coming forward with that newly picked up Shadow Blade. They don't know he has this. DZ Bug in with the stun, but he could actually just knock out Shanti in one blow, and he does. But Waffle eats pancake. He's the one under fire as well. Falling a little low, but where's the additional damage? Reckless now under a bit of fire, and he's gonna fall. The stray missile probably gonna finish Waffle eats pancake as well. And Neutral Keep Hotel manages to get the time lapse off before the spells can come out from Joker. And DZ Bug the balls on this man blinking forward, looking for the stun. He knows he's strong now. He knows the junk is in the top side, and they're gonna look towards this top mid tier 1 tower, the first one that they're gonna get of the game. But like I said, the early tide of aggression from the side of the Angels starting to be waned out, starting to be evened out from this Tinker and this Sand King. If they can get their spells off, that's when the answer can come through. Of course, the Judge still the winner of it all with that Battle Fury. Now Yasha as well, finishing up what looks to be either a Manta or SNY, quite likely. Doesn't have anything queued up at the moment, so probably still deciding. But not sure how big of a deal Manta will be against Tinker blind. That's probably what you're looking at it for. But it doesn't really purge off much else, right? The Frost Blast and all the stuns and spells coming in. You might want the status resist for that. Could go towards DZ Bug here. Reckless, not gonna tempt it. Sees the enemy is behind him, and not going to try. You should Creep Hotel though, he's looking. Here comes DZ Bug with the blink in, defense matrix up. Reckless still has the Shadow Blade, they dust out, but this is a tier 1 tower we're talking about. This is not where you want to be diving. Especially since your Sand King has already backed off, and they're gonna relent for now. Ronin Swanson in the sideline, so doesn't have Soulbind to work with, and falling low immediately. Neutral Creep Hotel runs straight into a Warrior's Punch and dies for his sins. Shanti though, a bit too far forward, getting slashed up, and Elegance, he's here to party. He's like, you bullied my team for too long. Get out of my house, baby. This is our tower you're talking about. And punishes them for their over-aggression. 3 down on the side for 1 on the side of TA. And now they can look towards this mid tower as well, but that's not if Tinker has something to say about it. And he closing in towards that Aghanim's, and that's gonna be so scary, right? Because the Shrink Ray, like we said, they don't have the reach for this Tinker right now. Reckless trying to hunt where he can, but yeah. Actually, this jump, something that we didn't mention earlier on in the draft, is that this healing ward is really gonna be allow them to push the high ground against the likes of the Tinker and the Lich spam coming out, right? So I do want to say a bit of a quieter game from Neutral Creep Hotel here on this Weaver, not really be able to get a lot done on the map, but it's kind of natural, right? Because they dropped this heavy, intense early game, and that's where Weaver excels the most, and it kind of feels like not much for this Weaver to do other than to throw out beetles and like just die in these fights, right? I really like the vision control coming out from the side of the IO Error though. They have a nice little deep ward over here to try and sort of just let them know what's coming when they're trying to push this mid tower earlier on. And they have this ward, it's spotted out by a sentry right now, so they're I mean, they don't know this, but they actually see Joker missing the Burrow Strike. Bit of an uncharacteristic one from DZ Bug. He's been spot on with those so far, but perhaps not expecting the double back from Scarif Mage there. Catching a glimpse of him through the tree lines, but Joker manages to get out of his life alive. Rod of Athos completed now as well. So that represents basically a solo kill onto anybody because they have, look at them, they have 0 purge to work with right now. Okay, and Emmy dies alone, actually being dived up in the top lane. Reckless finds him in the finds her in the trees, and It all comes back to this task, right? That is the only form of jump that they have, but Emmy perhaps a bit too far forward, caught out by the Shadow Blade, and there's the Tinker down. And Neutral Creep Hotel falling in the mid as well. That's just the Athos into the spells. Mystic Flare not even needed, and as much as it looks like the side of IO Era, they're starting to even it out here. It's not. You still can't underestimate the sheer amount of burst that they have on the side of the Toxic Angels, right? You need to be so careful.
Invisibility.
Very smart from them though. They're opting to play in the area that they have vision, right? DZ Bug staying around these wards, making sure that they're in a safe spot. But they're starting to draw the lines here. They want to make a move up towards. I think it's Emmy who's calling for them to move towards this mid tier 2. They know their posture around the area looking for kills, and this is where they can mount their great defense. DZ Bug wrapping around, has his sight on Elegance. In comes the big barrel strike. Oh, but immediately the spin. There isn't any follow-up onto this jump, but this should mean a good fight for them because the jump is TP out Reckless, trying to come forward, but the Shadow Amulet keeping him alive for now, and Ronin Swanson on the backline falling low. Reckless a bit too far forward, and nicely played from the side of IO Era, making the kills happen. And now the rest of the side of Toxic Angels, they need to run. They can't fight this without their task front line. Okay, but Joker though coming forward with the Athos. DZ Bug are a bit too far forward without any support. Like we talked about, they don't have any dispel for this rod of Athos into Mystic Flare. Don't have a 4-star to speak of, nothing coming out on the sidelines for the supports as well, and it's gonna spell the doom of DZ Bug.
Dire's bottom tower under fire. Dire's bottom tower is fallen.
Okay, so game evening out here now. It's a 9k lead, so obviously still pretty intense in terms of their position, but once again, like we said, they're starting to even it out. If they can get the right engagement, if they can bait the jug out like that, if they can catch them unawares and just pick them off one by one coming in as individual units, that's where the side of Toxic Angels are gonna start to fall apart, right? But okay, the stun out. Still has the blink available, but opts not for it. Tries to channel the epicenter, but here comes Omni Slash, tanked up by the entire team. Elegance has the spin as well, and he's gonna slice down this Sand King. But Emmy dies alone in the tree line. Has to be careful. The Reckless is on her tail right now. The punch up as well. They're looking towards the Tinker. Where is the help? Where is the backup? It's not there. Defense Matrix for slices down from Elegance. Back up to full HP thanks to the healing ward. And Neutral Creep Hotel Shang-Ti, they need the backup. This looked like it could have been such a good fight for the side of IO Era, but maybe a bit of a sort of miscalculation. They're not respecting the Omni Slash, and Elegance with that status resist manages to get the spin and the Omni Slash off and gets 2 kills for his troubles. Now they're looking towards this tower, but like we said, not really the best tower pushers, only the jump to speak of, and banned from acquiring relics actually has gone for early shard, so trying to play this more poke style that they've been going for. Reckless has to be careful, a bit too far forward here maybe, but a snowball in, they want to get this PL, but the doppelganger immediately, the silence didn't last long enough. Ronin Swanson is gonna get turned on now. The Athos turns it onto the Weaver. Neutral Creep Hotel gonna fall, but they managed to get a kill onto Ronin Swanson on this grim stroke.
I'll take that as tribute.
No spells to work with now, they need to back off. They can't be in this tower anymore, especially since that Jug was seen TPing out. Here comes the missiles though, they want to make the chase happen. Shang-Ti has to be careful. We saw what happens, the second Joker turns around, but actually another miss. DZ Bug not latching, could have been a big kill for them onto Joker, but too fast on this Skyref Mage. Not able to make the distance. And Emmy dies alone, has to be so careful in these tree lines, right? Because Reckless, that's exactly what he's looking for. Now has this Silver Edge completed as well, and yeah, it just has to be so scared because Reckless is on the hunt for this Tinker. Just wants her blood. Waffle Eats Pancake throws out the dust, but DZ Bug a bit too far forward, gets Athos up, not knowing that Joker's just waiting in the wings to finish him off. DZ Bug is gonna fall again on the Sand King. And it just kind of feels like this race against time, right? Because every single time they manage to kill the Sand King, the PL or the Tinker, the timer just extends. The time within which the side of Toxic Angels are still this menace all over the map extends. But if they can just keep their players alive, if they can keep getting farm on all sides of the map, if they can hold off this aggression from the side of the Angels, then suddenly the timer's starting to tick down. The Tinker game, he's just gonna get harder and harder to reach, more and more damage coming out. More range as well. Aether Lens, the next thing Emmy is looking at, and DZ Bug as well. Once he completes this Yules, it's gonna be even harder to kill, right? Being able to punch sides, but Emmy showing the mid lane. Tinker, this is not the move. Trying to rearm in the middle of a Mystic Flare and a Snowball, wiping down 3, one fell swoop, and that timer that we talked about flat out reset to 0. The side of Toxic Angel surging forward in one fell swoop. Nice little ward there to try and spot out any moves, but Emmy not expecting them to come all the way around this way, and ends up paying the price for it. Emmy really has to be the bulwark for a team here. Can't afford to really die like that, and it's not really her fault either, right? Because there's just so much catch. They're just constantly looking for her, but I think she just has to play these side lanes. She can't be just showing like that, because it's so easy for Reckless to just roll up and punch her up into the sky, and from there, the follow-up, it's come in before, it's hot and heavy from the side of the Angels as they now look towards the high ground. No healing ward to work with, but Frost Shield gonna mitigate a lot of this push. But yeah, that's where the Bloodlust Ogre come in. Okay, DZ Bug in with the stun though, gets the epicenter onto 2. The spin out is in time. DZ Bug is gonna fall, but the Snowball manages to save them for now. The Chain Frost not gonna latch onto it enough, but Emmy dies alone now, soulbound up. Has to be careful as to where she blinks. Can't actually move much for now, but Rodin Swanson, is he gonna tank the death? Yes, he is, yet again. Slightly unfortunate, but they managed to hold. That is a trade on DZ Bug, but very nicely set up from him. If the follow-up was there just a moment sooner from the side of oh, okay, IO Error though, they still want to fight. Emmy getting stunned up, Reckless is punching forward, Defense Matrix there though, but Emmy taking so much damage and the Omni Slash just slices her down, and alongside that, the PL as well. A bit too far forward, and now Neutral Cream Hotel gonna take out to the magic damage, and just like that, what looked like a good hold from the side of IO Error just ends up, Elegance turns back around with the Omni, and now blinking forward as well. Shanky has to be so careful. This Lich doesn't have anything else to offer up. Can't even make it close enough to Frost Shield this tower, and this looks like a lane of Rex. 28 seconds on the deck for Emmy. Can't hold them off, and Joker now with the vision from the concussive shot just strikes down this Lich where he stands. Shanky, that's gotta hurt. And this tempo draft from Toxic Angel really coming to fruition here. They want to end the game. They're looking towards tier 4s. They don't care. They just want to finish it. They know 24k gold up, 42 to 19 at 28 minutes. They're just threatening this base. So here comes the Fortify though. They need to respect this, and they need to respect the Tinker respawn. But once again, if they catch their eyes on Emmy, even for an instant, they have this nice ward that could spot her out here. If they're not careful, Elegance has the blink but cancel out. They have to be so careful here. This is so tense. Neutral Creep Hotel caught out by the Aethos, getting struck down yet again. And it's just kind of more and more into the meat grinder. But here comes DZ Bug with 3-man MP and a stun. This could be the turnaround that they need. Here comes Ben from acquiring relics on the Joker now. This Scarab Mage is gonna fall, and those are 2 huge kills. Punishing the over-aggression from the side of the Angels. Nicely set up there from DZ Bug, showing why he's so good on this Sand King. Another barrel strike forward. It's not a pretty look when this Ogre is 2 levels ahead of your offlaner, but the dust is there, the setup is there, and the rest of the side of the Toxic Angels, IO Error, Morning Brain, sorry. They are just turning it around. 3 huge kills for them. The gold lead is still astronomical, but they're starting to punch back here.
I'll take that as tribute. Radiant's middle tower is taking damage. No more middle tower for Radiant. Dire's bottom tower is being
Sorry, not really paying attention to the chat here because just like I just woke up trying to get in the mood. I keep mixing up the team names. It's a little hard when there's like no like team indicator on the side, but I mean that's on me, I guess. But yeah, so net worth wise, if we take a look, Elegance still very firmly at the top, but as we've seen time and time again, okay, a swift slash out, Emmy caught by herself. Once again, oh, maybe a bit too far forward. They haven't cleared out the vision yet, and DZ Bug is gonna fall as well. I looked away for a second, and just like that, Emmy's gonna fall again. And they prove 3 down. That doesn't matter. We can still hunt you down, and this vision placed down earlier on from the side of the Angels. They just managed to get more reckless. He's not done just yet. Has the snowball, but is waiting for the doppelganger out on the Shang-Chi now. Has the punch to work with, but Glimmer a bit too far forward. Now here comes the buybacks from DZ Bug, getting the barrel strike off onto Reckless. Reckless is gonna fall, but Elegance, has he come a bit too far forward, managing to get the PL. The spin is gonna do enough, and it cleans up Neutral Creep Hotel. A bit too close on that jug. Blade Fury and Neutral Creep Hotel just melts on the sidelines again. That's not what you want to see. 2 buybacks just for support and pause 3. Yes, they dived a bit too far, but Reckless, he's A-okay with that. And like I said, it's all onto Emmy. I feel like she's been working on this Aether Lens for so long, but it's so hard to play this game. Everywhere you go, it's just blanketed by vision. Blanketed by the catch. They're opting for a smoke now. I'm not really sure what it is that they want to try and make happen, but maybe, yeah, it's just that they have so much smokes, they have so many smokes, right? They can't actually make any moves on the map. There's so much nice vision, and now Elegance, he has nothing to be afraid of, backed up by Waffle, just dealing with this Roche, getting the Aegis for themselves, and that's gonna empower the upcoming high ground push that they're definitely trying to make happen. They tried to just end the game straight up, right? But obviously that didn't work out. Jug still respecting the damage coming out when his Blade Fury is down. We're gonna have the Aegis now on Elegance, proving his worth as his last pick, right? We're thinking about, or at least I was questioning it a little bit. I was like, man, is this Jug gonna be able to carry this game? But equal parts early aggression and equal parts being this ramping up carry for his team with the Battle Fury, right? Now bringing them into the later stages of the game. Of course, it's what we talked about this entire game. It's the timer, right, that's counting down for Toxic Angels. But at this point, it's a long ways away before IO Error can actually even it out and try and, you know, mount the comeback. It's gonna have to be on the back of DZ Bug with those barrel strikes and the epicenter setups. But once again, the follow-up has to come through real quick from the side of the Tinker alongside the Chain Frost and the spells coming out. And I feel like this PL, he's still so far away from where he wants to be, but the blink forward, the double damage, the switch slash, the doppelganger gets out for now. Where is the follow-up? Elegance, he's not gonna attempt it. He's running into a full team. Neutral Creep Hotel has to be careful here, could get tagged up. The stun is there, multicast ×2, and the silence as well. Neutral Creep Hotel, he can't get away from this, gonna get slashed up. The barrel strike into straight blink out, just trying to make space. Chain Frost, this is not the hold you want. He has a buyback on Neutral Creep Hotel, but here comes the spell. Reckless has to be careful. They're snowballing in onto Emmy, there's a blink. Okay, not there yet from DZ Bug, but the Omni Slash out onto DZ Bug keeps it off Emmy for now. But that's your Sand King on the sidelines, the Mystic Flare onto Emmy's head. Invis for now can get out of this situation, can she? She has the blink makes it out, and the stun as well, but the Omni onto her head. And that is all that she wrote. 3 down on the sidelines for the side of IO Era, and that just went from what looked like could have been a good hold to an absolute disaster. The PL still dishing out a lot of damage, actually picking off Waffle Pancake alongside Ronin. Can he finish him off? Yeah, the damage is enough, and they take down 3, but this Jug still very, very strong on the front lines. But they're not gonna tempt it here. They still have Aegis for 3 minutes. They don't want to push forward. What looked like it was over right there. Okay, so y'all watch True Sight. When Jarak said they have a problem PL25, he is almost going to reach that point. Banned from acquiring relics. He doesn't have a lot of items to speak of, but he's going for the full investment into the Aghanim Shard build, right? Looking towards that Octarine Core, just trying to dish out that harass. Now, one thing I'm worried about is there enough damage to deal with this Jug right now? This Jug, Blink, Abyssal, Aegis as well, SNY, Aghanims, so much raw stats to work through. Can you do it? It's really... And they did a pretty good job keeping Emmy alive for so long, right? But the Jug is just this unstoppable force at this point. Bit quiet game from Joker ever since the early stages, just being an absolute menace, right? But now Joker has that Bloodstone completed, so gonna keep him alive in the fights for even that much longer as soon as he gets gone on, right? That additional battery that you have, yeah, mana battery, to pump your HP up. Of course, Skyrev, a lot of damage coming out, but not the tankiest. Bloodstone's definitely gonna help that. They could find Emmy here. Emmy, this is not where you can be. Emmy gets punched up, and Joker as well doesn't even need the Mystic Flare. The damage is there. And that's your Tinker on the sidelines. They still have the Aegis for 1 minute. And Emmy, that you can't, I mean, You don't see anybody on the map. You can't just walk out like that. They're gonna be looking for you. And with their Tinker on the sidelines, I don't know how they can defend. They have the PL acting as a pseudo Tinker at this point with his shard, but the damage is not even comparable. They could just walk up with this healing ward here and try and finish off the tower, but Elegance is looking towards something else. Wants to push in the mid lane, but is that a fight? No, it's just the illusions. Elegance, he's gonna clear out the mid lane. So slow without that, without those phase boots. But he's gonna walk towards the top side. He wants to make it happen. They try to clear out whatever creeps they can, and they're not really breaching for now. Elegance, he's walking into the huge sandstorm that DZBug has, level 15 talent, with the sandstorm radius. But now the spin, just being able to hit away freely on this, on the Rags, and a nice little kite away. The PL not microing his illusions to take out this healing ward. Not that I don't know how much it matters, of course, but it's really empowering their push here. And Tinker up in 2 seconds. Okay, they need to be careful. Reckless is actually in though with the BKB, dishing out so much damage, and here comes Elegance as well with the blink, swift blink, Abyssal, and the swift slash up. That's the PL down 90 seconds, and just when the Tinker came up, just when it looked like they could hold the mount of defense, the PL is down. And yeah, I mean you can fire away with the rockets, but that's still ages. Okay, time's out now. They could look for Miracle Hold with this Sand King blink. They're gonna need some sort of, like, some stroke of intense luck. Here comes the Epi, channels it, but opts against it. He's just looking towards, he doesn't know where to go. DZBug, it's the last Hail Mary play, he has to go, but the Epi's out, doesn't latch on the Reckless, and immediately they get out of the Sand King's initiate, and that is so much. It surely has to be over. What else do you have to offer up on the side of IO Error? Emmy, she's trying her best, fire away those rockets, but here comes the damage. Elegance gonna get blinded up though, can't actually hit away, but gonna slice down DZBug. The vision is there, and Snowball fall onto Neutral Keep Hotel as well. They want to finish this game. Elegance, he's done with this, he wants to end the game. Emmy starting to tag out a lot of damage from this Skyrap and gonna fall on this Tinker and the rest as well, as if insult to injury just cleans the rest of them up. And that is the end of game number 1. Toxic Angels, they power forward and they don't even spare a second to look back. What a showing, 59 to 27, 39k gold up. And what a shellacking. What a, my god. Ouch. That shit hurts from the side of the Toxic IO Era at least, and you gotta be a bit more, I mean, the Weaver first pick was cool and all, but they just completely roll you over. What can you do as the Weaver, right? And DZBug had such a rough early lane thanks to the last pick Jug. And it all just fell apart from there. Yeah, Rodin Swanson, it really just, we knew as early on Ogre Magi and Grimstroke, and the Tusk third pick, we knew they were just gonna play a run at you draft, right? Powered up by this Skyref as well, just, even though it lost that early death, the Emmy Dies Alone managed to pull it back and just be this huge force of magic damage that didn't even need the Mystic Flare at times, just completely destroying the side of IO Era. And we're gonna have to see whether IO Era can fire back in the second game, of course. For now, we're gonna take a short break though, as we see whether the second lobby is up. There it is. Very quick.